All right. Welcome to Moonshine of Music, Scott Eckart.
Right on, man.
How are you tonight, my man?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here. It's a little different venue than the winery, obviously. So we just did sound check. It sounds incredible. Anytime you get a chance to play a theater, it's something special. So yeah, I'm really excited to be here, man.
So you mentioned the winery. That's your winery?
Yep. I spend most of my time in eastern central Indiana at Pilgrimage Wine Company, growing grapes, making wine. We're just now getting into the meat of the season in June here. The grapes vines are springing to life, and it's keeping us pretty busy. We have music every weekend, every Saturday. We had a good show. Again, we specifically focus on live, local, and original music. So you don't see cover bands out there. Food trucks on Saturdays. It's a really cool, chill vibe. And as a musician and now a business owner, it's kind of my mission in life to kind of hopefully create a venue that people want to come out and not just hang out at, but the musicians want to play. And keeping us pretty busy out there, but happy to leave the farm today and come be with you guys here in Greenfield.
Well, we're a little low on the trees with grapes on them here in the theater.
Right.
But we can always accommodate what comes out of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Right on.
But I do appreciate you coming on. What's your, give us a little bit about your background, where you grew up and where you've been and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing guitar for longer than I'd like to admit at this point, but primarily kind of got my chops being in Central Florida. I graduated high school from Pensacola, Florida, the Panhandle, otherwise referred to as Baja, Alabama. It's not like the rest of Florida. From there, I went to the University of Florida and played in bands for 7 or 8 years until I finally was able to graduate. Played with some relatively popular acts of the time. Sister Hazel certainly kind of helped me learn how to write a pop song and harmonize, and so I owe a lot to Ken and Andrew from Sister Hazel. But I always kind of came at it from more of a little bit of an alternative vein. I was a huge REM fan growing up. They're obviously from Athens, Georgia. Wilco, Sun Volt, Uncle Tupelo, more of that Americana sound. So that's kind of what I tend to bring to the table. I've been producing for many years now as well, kind of following the computer revolution and enjoying that. And now again with the venue, we've started a label out there called Treaty Line Records, and just got the masters back for a compilation that's going to be put on vinyl of 8 different artists that we consider our residents that play out there routinely. AJ Wetzel, Jansen Duncan, Kyle Hazard, the Mortonians, Rachel Appleby, who actually works at the winery. She's a really a talent to watch as a 25-year-old bluegrass musician. 2 Jasons are featured on it. They're probably the most established of the up-and-comers, but it was a really fun project for us to do. We're super excited about the sound of it. We're going to release it on August 8th with a big music festival out there. We're going to play the record live, basically all of the people that were on it. And hopefully, we entitled it Volume 1. It's hopefully the first of many, And so, again, as somebody that's a lifelong musician that's really just come back from home at Farmette, where we got to meet a bunch more singer-songwriters, that's really where our passion lies. One of the things that's different about our winery is we grow the grapes and we make wine, truly Indiana wine. We're about Indiana terroir. We don't import stuff if we can help it, but we're just really focused on, as we like to say, starving artist wines, and then we support starving artists. So really passionate about that, really passionate about the music scene, and now having, again, a venue and a little bit of a platform to support those kind of things, do those kind of music projects. It's definitely something we're very passionate about, and really excited to continue to see what happens.
I love the idea of putting out a vinyl too, not just like putting it on a stream, but putting something physical together so people can sign it and all those fun things, and you can have
records are definitely hot. There's no doubt, And yeah, it was pretty much a no-brainer right from the get-go. The fact that there's eight different artists on there. Really excited about the packaging. The artwork came together really nice. It's tactile. You can hold it. Vinyl's going to sound great. Of course, if you buy the record, you'll get access to the digital downloads. But for us, it's kind of falls under the marketing budget, and the record is the calling card. And again, it's meant to support these artists. I didn't charge them for my time. It's a true honor and pleasure to come to work and record these artists and try and give them a track that they can take. The licensing agreement is basically we'll split the proceeds of whatever records we sell. I want you guys to have hopefully a record that you're proud of, and will help you in your career. So I mean, I'm 50 now. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not trying to get signed and go to Nashville or Austin. I mean, for me, it's kind of I feel like adopting more of an altruistic avenue to try and support these artists that I really believe in, so it's really cool, and I love being able to have the opportunity to come play some of my original music, but I'll be talking to anybody that shows up today, telling them, hey, we've got this happening. There's a lot of great musicians that come out to the winery. Please come check it out and support your local artist. I mean, there's no shortage of talent in Indiana, much less the Midwest or Eastern Indiana. People are making great music, and they deserve to be heard, for sure.
That's kind of what we do with the podcast.
Yeah.
So you're just like right in the middle of the idea here. I know we talked. I don't know, it was a few weeks ago on your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What's your podcast called again?
Prost Podcast. Again, it's a passion project. I am probably could be accused of not being a particularly good businessman, but that's because I'm motivated by my passions. And those things happen to be trying to grow grapes. Again, I was in the military for 20 years, stationed in Italy, and when you're over in Europe, you tend to pick up. I'm an extreme Europhile. I love the World Cup, I love the Tour de France, and I love European wines. Never in a million years thought that I'd have the opportunity to grow grapes or adopt this as a part of my life. Hence, we've discovered cold climate viticulture and the fact that you can grow grapes that make good wine in the Midwest, and it's no secret. There's 100 wineries in Indiana. We're trying to do it the old world way, the hard way, the traditional way, that's again, it's something that in a lot of ways it's easy for us to figure out how we're going to do it because we just always are focused on being authentic and being real, and so it never makes it hard. We don't. Part of the reason why we support the local music is because that's what we're passionate about. I wouldn't want to spend all my time out there making the wines that we make if we didn't believe in them. So we got to believe in the music, we got to believe in the product, and so where I was going with that is the podcast bounces between one interview will be with somebody in the wine, beer, and spirits industry, but primarily winemakers and people that I love to ask questions on and I learn from. And then the next week we'll bounce over to somebody that's in the music business, whether it's a musician, a mix engineer, or something like that. And it's easy because it's fun and it's passionate and it's the only way I know how to do these things. So yeah, Prost Podcast. We're up to about 30 episodes now. I've backlogged on a lot of these things. Yours is coming out this week. Our interview, we talk. because we have so many similar interests, and I know you produce and record and play and all of that stuff. So it's just another way to, again, in my mind, try to spotlight and highlight some of what's cool here in the Midwest. I'm very proud to have adopted this post-military to come here and try to do what I can to help younger artists believe that they the music business is notoriously difficult. I mean, 1 in 1,000. It's hard enough just to make a living doing it, but then find success. You got to be hungry. You got to have a hell of a lot of luck. You got to be good. All of those things are true, but I think you also need to have people that believe in you, and that's where I think Emma and I can maybe slot in and try and be that support for people.
So. A lot of the time we ask influences of music, but I'm interested in what's your favorite grape? What's your favorite wine?
Oh man, yeah. No, I mean it changes. I don't discriminate. I love beer. There's some great breweries in Indiana. I mean, right now Googman House is like it's like catnip for me. But whiskey as well. I mean, we're obviously just north of Kentucky. I love me some bourbon. I love me some scotch. I don't discriminate. And wine in general. I mean, I love the fact that wine and travel are so intrinsic. My military career. As a pilot, I've got to see just about every wine region in the world, and you know, a lot of times wine. One of the reasons why it is so that rabbit hole you go down is because it's tied to experience, it's tied to a place, it's tied to a time, and so it switches. I love old and new world wines. If I had to pick one, though, I mean, again, I got my chops being stationed near Catania on Sicily in southern Italy. Those wines were the ones that made the light bulb go on. So I love, you know, and they can be a good value, the Southern Italian reds, and in some cases whites. Emma and I are both German, so, you know, we can never go wrong with the German Riesling, usually on the drier side. But I mean, gosh, there's so many great French wines and Alsatian wines. We bill ourselves from the kind of the wine geek perspective as kind of an Alsatian French style of wines, because we've got several grapes that are very similar, to include Traminette, which is the state grape of Indiana. Its parent is Gewürztraminer, and when you get a good crop of Traminette, it has a very Gewürz character that most people would not be able to discern. So most wineries in Indiana have Traminette, but it's also popular in Michigan and New York as well. So it changes. It changes. I'll tell you what I don't like to do is have the same thing over and over and over. So it's basically always trying something new from a different producer. Yeah, it's rapidly and always changing for sure.
I mean, I like those. Well, before I met my wife, I didn't know anything about wine except that, like, you know, I'd had what was it called? Blueberry Hill from what's that company?
Well, there's I mean, Oliver's the big dog around here.
No. Those are the cheap Boone's.
Yeah,
Boone's
of course. I
so
think
that was the one that I like had in college, right?
Sure. Yep.
But like when I met my wife, she was you know, she was a lot more let's say you know,
Cultured taste.
Cultured. Yeah. That's good.
I mean, Emma, my wife too, drank wine before I did. I was, especially at college and then in the Navy, was a lot more into drinking beer and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I remember when we were dating 20 some odd years ago, she kind of introduced. My mom also was quite a wino. She was the life of the party, but was always a big white wine drinker. I frankly didn't like the taste. I definitely came to it much later in life, and I would say again, spending a day with friends on an off day in the Italian countryside, in our case sitting on the side of a volcano, Mount Etna at Gambino Winery, it was just absolutely magical. I just fell in love with that ethos and just like not a care in the world. It's almost meditative. It just slows things down, and you're there for a day, and you can enjoy it. And at some point, you got to get back to your life, get back to flying, get back to whatever the job at hand is. But that is and has always been and continues to be at our core of what we're trying to do at Pilgrimage. Aside from the music and all the other things that we like to dabble our hands in, we want to be the place that people can go to and get some of that European mojo. And the only other better alternative is to literally get on a plane and fly from, you know, Chicago to Rome and then like do and the real thing is a better experience. Make no mistake, but it's also much more expensive. It'll take a week of your time. It's just not practical. So we really try to again provide that authentic experience. And if you see the tasting room, it's very European and I think that's a good thing. I don't have any problem with that, and the support we've had from the Hoosier and also the Ohio community has been, it's not for everybody. A lot of times people do come in and they're not big wine people, and we're doing drier style wines, and we sometimes people walk in and walk right back out. Most of the time, because we control the process, we pick the grapes when they're ripe. I have very simple winemaking. It's nothing flashy, and it's partly because there's not much you can do in winemaking. You squish the grape and it becomes wine. I mean, there's no additives in it. It's not like cooking or anything else. You kind of get what you get. The magic is in the farming, and that's another reason why we were stubborn enough to pull the trigger and do this, is because as somebody that didn't grow up in Indiana but would visit my grandparents whose farm I took over, we always said to anybody outside of Indiana, what are the three things you think of when you think of the state of Indiana? Corn and soybean. It's a farming community, the Indy 500 and high school basketball, because we all saw Hoosiers. And so if you get the farming right, and this is a farming state, so there's lots of resources for that, then and the French and the Italians will tell you, and the Germans, if you have good fruit, which means you did good farming, you're going to make good wine. And that's actually what we do. We do our best to farm it. We spend a lot of money and input to try and get good ripe grapes. A lot of that's dependent on nature. It's a lot of vintage variation in the Midwest. But if we can pick the grapes and bring them in, I know enough to get out of the way and let the wine be what it's going to be. And I'm as amazed as anybody when a year or two down the road we pop a cork and it's like, oh, that's delicious, But I love that. I love it's a very rewarding to see the business and the support that we've had. It's still growing. And again, we're doing it the hard way, but we're also authentic about it. And that in no way, shape, or form is any different than our support for live, local, and original music and home ac and the thing that JC's doing, and so many great artists that are here. As we like to say, original wines and original music is what we do at Pilgrimage. So it's an honor to be here to try and get more of that message out, play some music, share the stage with some other really talented Hoosiers, and again, I appreciate the offer. Thank you.
Thanks for being on the podcast, and get out there and be on the stage and kick some behind tonight.
Right on, man. Right? I'm gonna try and hold my own with these cats, literally.
All right, we'll see you.
I appreciate it, Joe. Thank you, man.
This is called 50% of the time. I got charts, jet stream, spaghetti. I'm the bomb like Kurt Signetti. Some people think I hold aces, like I'm the keeper of the sun's good graces. Stare at the line like Jackson Pollock lines. I squint, I nod, I take my time. Maybe tomorrow I'll refine, 'cause 50% of the time I'm right all the time. Loose enough to keep my job, wrong enough to sleep just fine. Some people want perfect answers, others just don't want cancer. I'm rolling bones, oh it's so much fun. My best advice is stay out of the sun. Flip on the tube, oh no, there's Jim Cantore out there for personal glories, spreading fear and horror stories. 'Cause 50% of the time I'm right all the time. Close enough to keep my job, wrong enough to leave just fine. I'm the weatherman, I'm the weatherman, I'm the weatherman, I'm the weatherman, yeah, yeah, whoa, yeah, Whenever Jim Cantore shows up, you know something's about to get destroyed. You never see Jim Cantore just hanging in South Florida Waffle House like, beautiful day out there, I guess I'll just go home. Maybe the sky ain't meant for knowing. Maybe the wind don't know where it's going. Or maybe life's just like the weather. It changes faster than we can gather. Oh, procrastination. Oh, talk about convection. All you need is somebody guessing. 'Cause 50% of the time I'm right all the time. Close enough to keep my job. Wrong enough to leave just fine. 50% of the time I'm right all the time. Close enough to keep my job. Wrong enough to leave just fine. I'm the weatherman. I'm the weatherman. I'm the weatherman. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. This next song's about a river. I've always been a fan of songs about rivers. I always figured that rivers were good listeners, and it turns out they are good listeners, but they only listen and they don't give advice. This is my song about a river. It was written standing on the banks of a river, wondering who I'd become if the worst version of me won the argument in everybody's head. Wife's a teacher, works at the school. There's a student who don't play by the rule. Claims he'll kill everyone if they flunk him out. Death before dishonor is what he used to spout. Death before dishonor. Wasn't gonna sit around and wait for him to strike. The shootings every day on the news they play at night. Yeah, I will sacrifice myself for those I love. I wasn't looking for a fight, a push came to shove. I wasn't looking for a fight, a push came to shove. And the river knows, and it forgives for your sins. It don't forgive. I gave my soul to the undertow. Went away without much sound. Now my body cannot be found. There's nothing left to put me underground. On the banks, the Ohio. On the banks of the Ohio. On the banks of the Ohio. I went under, I sank below. Ooh, 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 maybe it was right. Hard to know even in hindsight. justice and mercy, flip sides of the same coin. So I will swim to meet my fate where the river currents join. Yeah, I will swim to meet my fate where the river currents join. And the river knows, and it forgives for your sin. Don't forget on the banks of the Ohio. Strike me down, I am ready to go. On the banks of the Ohio, I went under and I sank below. On the banks of the Ohio, on the banks of the Ohio, on the banks of the Ohio, I lost everything that I know. Oh. Thank you. Thank you so much. There's a secret nobody knows, past the church where the ivy grows. Every storm or forgotten prayer, you are free from what you bear. Yeah, you are free from what you bear. I've been watching from afar. You're holding on in fits and starts. You still talk to me sometime, but I'm behind invisible lines. Yeah, I am behind invisible lines. Therein lies the rub. You thought you were in love, but it turns out you were lost below, alone, like a baby just opening its eyes, staring at no new light. You're so lost you would never know. Oh, so it's time to let go. Yeah, so it's time to let go. There is a line carved out in spell. Light will always shine, airy on those days. Turns out you were lost below, alone, staring at a new light, like a baby just opening its eyes. You're so lost you would never know the flow. And if you hear me upon the wind, know I loved you until the very end. We can't end what we don't begin. The end. So it's time to live. Yeah, so it's time to let go. 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 Thank you very much.
Moonshine and Music is a presentation of Notlehs Entertainment. It is a copyright 2026. Producer of the show is Joe Shelton. The cameraman, grip, and stunt double is Brent Lee Smith. Special thanks to Ray Hoskins, Patrick Zabriskie, and Tony Seiler and Heather Warnstaff and Bailey Shelton, all of who contributed to the show in various ways. We will see you next time on Moonshine and Music.